All right, we're on. Where are the lights? Lights. All right. Just another look at this. It's just a versatile pad system in a small hammock, focusing on portability, versatility, lightweight. Looking at a button link from Hummingbird. Looking at I just call it a Dutch clip. Lets the shock cord to the hammock pass through it. Here, I mean, we could probably also use something lighter. I just have this S-beaner around. It's really, this end is where I position the length of the hammock. This same thing that adjusts how tight it goes around your feet is the same thing. You're gonna get a little tunability with this to say, I want it up here, I want it down here a little more. I had some strings built into that, but I did away with it. This right here is just a toggle on a piece of pretty standard shock cord that lets me cinch that hammock either around me this way or up over the ridge. Like I have this slit line ridge, I can, and it just, you can imagine it just, I can just grab that and it just sucks that right up against me. It's rid of all those little inefficiencies. Then this is just another adjuster for what I have around my shoulders. And then as we come up here, what you're looking at here, I'll zoom in, another Dutch clip, if I may call it that, hooked into the Hummingbird link. Normally if you had a, I don't know, webbing style hammock, you'd maybe hook that button through there, and I'm sure you still could. Then these adjusters will, let me adjust the amount of shock cord. And the main thing I'm seeing here is, these days, I don't know how much shock cord people are running through this. I honestly don't feel like you need much of it besides a little bit. I don't know if all that shock cord needs to run through. That's a question of mine. I don't know who's having the best success. But if I want to hook it on a bigger hammock or tighten it up, I'm just, I almost kind of even question that you even need shock cord on this whole system through these. I'm sure the line would be a little more abrasive, but then I could, when I pull the dang thing, the thing would actually come up. And a lot of all this is just because I use such small hammocks. These are really designed for a little bit bigger hammock, which makes sense. Most people are going to have that. But these super ultra light little hammocks, you kind of got to do some special things. But anyway, the versatility, you're hiking far, you can go into the hike and use all this. You want to go to the pad in the shelter, you can. When it gets warmer out, you can mail back the underquilt or go back the pad, whatever you like. But I kind of like to mix things up personally, your back, whatever, get some different hangs in. I can adjust this different ridge different ways with these slit lines. I am looking for some short straps, the end of the slit lines. I've been kind of looking around, but yeah, pretty cool. I want to make some improvements to it. I know this is a kind of a budget starter underquilt, but it's been working well. In combination with everything, it keeps that edge off around the side and just adds enough value underneath that you can get pretty darn far below freezing and be fine in there as long as your top quilt's all right. That's another thing to mention with this setup. I feel like with the pad and everything, you almost need a sleeping bag to cinch the drafts out, because when you're no pad and it's lunged into the underquilt, you get a little more coverage there. And I'm just talking for cold. I throw that pad on the ground and I can zip in. I've been using these more mummy style down sleeping bags lately where you could actually zip in, and then a lot of the times you just use it as a quilt anyway, but when it gets really cold. But somebody is asking about starting out and long distance hiking, and it's just what I have.